So, okay, I'm just checking some very final things here. Everything is working, so we are almost this long-awaited coverage provided by the virtual telescope, and I'm just adjusting a few things, hoping that we will see soon something good. Just adjusting and checking that the live transmission is running just fine. Also opening video. Okay, sounds like that everything is working. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Gianluca Masi speaking from the Virtual Telescope Project. I'm very happy and proud to be here tonight, just sharing you, at least hopefully sharing with you, depending this from the weather, something we've been waiting for such a long time, that is the very close approach of Comet sighting spring to planet Mars. We've been waiting for this, I must say, for quite a long time, so I'm very happy that finally we are here and we are going to hopefully, as I said, share this. This event is hosted by the Virtual Telescope. I am Gianluca Masi, the owner and the scientific director of this project. I am very happy and I welcome you to this event. This event is also hosted in partnership with Danza Scienza e Tecnica, and I also want to thank many people who actually featured this event out there. I want to thank Sky and Telescope, the Planetary Society. Also, I would like to thank National Geographic and many others. I will remind you, Universe Today, and also many other friends, Astronomers Without Borders. I really cannot remember how many friends actually featured this. Hopefully, as I said, we will see something. It is a very extreme event, as seen from Italy where we are, and this one will be both in English and Italian, and I hope that it will be a good event for you. Unfortunately, I must say that we have clouds now in the sky. I don't know if an hole there will make possible for us to see something, but here we are, and hopefully the telescope is already taking images. And as you can see, I just want to check that the images are fine to you. Let me check. Okay, friends. Or just adjusting a few things, if you don't mind. I always need to check this in real time. Okay. Hopefully, as I said, I'm just trying to figure what's happening to see if we have some good images coming or not. Okay. Okay. Let me see if I succeeded now making this live transmission ready. So, okay. I'm just trying to check if we can go with this or not. Okay. just making sure that everything is working. Okay, let me see if now this is working. I just trying to see if the telescope can share images depending on the... Here it is, and hopefully you are going to see the feedback from the telescope, just the object. I'm trying to make available to you also the console. Here it is. And here you can see what the telescope is seeing now. The bright dot there is a planet Mars, but as you can see, it is very bright. The sky is still not dark, because in Italy we have right now the astronomical twilight going. But there are also clouds there, so I'm not sure if we are seeing this object or not. I will try to give you some explanations later, because I really want also to introduce you what is happening. But as this event is very fast and the object is going to set here in Italy, I still want to make sure that before we talk, at least we can try to observe. But as I said, we have lots of clouds in that direction. So while the planet Mars, sorry, is very well visible, of course, we are still failing seeing the comet, because there is a very, very huge difference in brightness between Mars and the comet. Anyway, we are tracking it, and hopefully we will see sometime all this. But let me also check that images are coming fine. Okay, I see that also the image. So I see that basically we are there. So let's start this officially, my friends. So again, good evening, gentlemen. Gianluca Massi speaking from Virtual Telescope, and as I said, welcome you again to this long-awaited event, showing live, weather permitting, the very close historic approach between a Comet sighting spring, and a planet Mars, one of the most famous planets out there. We've been waiting for this close approach since we discovered it early in 2013, and since there we've been tracking this comet up to now, and I know that you have read a lot about this. And this event is also hosted in partnership with Scienza e Tecnica, and I'm very proud and happy to recognize also the partners, the technological partners of the Virtual Telescope. They are Unitron Italia Instruments, Software Bisq, Badr Planetarium, Santa Barbara Instruments Group, and Planewave Instruments. Also, I want to thank the many friends and websites who featured this event. I want to thank space.com, Sky and Telescope, Universe Today, also Planetary Society, and many others, including National Geographic, and a lot of them making possible for a lot of people about this event, and hopefully to see this object. This comet is a very small one. It has a diameter of 700 meters, and it is going to touch in a couple of hours by now the minimum distance from the Sun of less than 140,000 kilometers. Let me say, no other comets in known history approached a planet so close. You may remember in 1994 when Comet Schumacher-Levy 9 actually reached the planet Jupiter, and many fragments actually entered the atmosphere. Giant planet it is, collision with it. It was, as I said, in 1994, July of that year, and after that no other impacts, but basically we really never saw a comet coming so close. I hope that at some point we can see something, and I'm going to show also the live video coming from... I'm trying to adjust things here to make sure, for example, that at some point we will see the comet. As I said, all this is being observed in real time by the virtual telescope from Italy. And in Italy, this comet is setting, so this is an extremely hard observation. And let me say also that we have the object so low above the horizon in the twilight, because we are just right now the sunset, so this is not the easiest observation. And of course the comet is really faint. You can easily see on the upper right planet Jupiter, planet Mars. I just want to show you also a map here showing what is going to be visible. This is a star map. You can see planet Mars on the right, okay? Then you see the comet, and then you see two bright stars on the bottom left. And hopefully this is what you can recognize in our images as soon as, I believe, we will have a chance to properly set all this. This is not easy because, as I said, there is a lot of clouds. Unfortunately, clouds decided to arrive and visit us while we were waiting for this comet. Damned clouds. But we hope that in the next 20-25 minutes before the comet will be gone from Italy, I hope that we will be able to see something. While waiting, I would like to share with you also an introductory video that I received by my colleague at Planetary Society. And I really hope that you will be enjoying it. Will be happy to show it to you. A nice introductory video by the Director of Science and Technology at Planetary Society, Bruce Betts. And let me share this with you. And meanwhile, I will continue checking. And at the same time, from this colleague, you will learn what this comet is and why we have been waiting a lot this cloud encounter. Here it is for you.
I'm Dr. Bruce Betts from the Planetary Society. On October 19th, 2014, Comet Siding Spring will be having a near miss of the planet Mars. I'm going to give you some basic facts about this to get you up to speed on this amazing planetary encounter. First of all, why is it called Siding Spring? It's named after the observatory where it was discovered in Australia by Robert McNaught. Will it hit Mars? No, it will not hit Mars. Early on, it wasn't clear, but as we've learned more about the orbit, gotten more observations, we know that it will pass by Mars. How far from Mars will the comet pass? At closest approach, it will be really close by planetary standards. It'll be about 140,000 kilometers, or about 88,000 miles from Mars. For reference, this is 10 times closer to Mars than any comet has flown by the Earth in recorded history. It is about the equivalent of a third the distance between the Earth and the Earth's moon, although it will still be well outside of Mars's moons because they orbit much closer to Mars. How fast will a comet be moving when it goes past Mars? Really fast! 6 kilometers per second. That's about per hour. How big is the comet? Well, its nucleus, the solid part inside the coma, is about 700 meters in diameter. Early on, it was thought the comet might be much larger, a few kilometers in diameter. Now we think about 700 meters, and hopefully the observations from spacecraft at Mars will actually refine that, and we'll learn even more. Will the 7 spacecraft currently working at Mars be safe? Don't fret, don't lose sleep. Our friends are probably safe. The rovers, definitely safe. Underneath the atmosphere, any dust coming through will burn up in the atmosphere. The orbiters are in a little bit more danger, but we think not much. Lots of studies, because the comet is going far enough by Mars, far enough away from Mars, away from the spacecraft, that the debris cloud going with it, the coma and the tail, will actually pass far enough away that the cloud. And so we think they'll be okay. NASA even has phased orbits, so its spacecraft will be on the other side of Mars at the most dangerous period, but then able to make observations before and after. So, spacecraft should be safe. Will there be science obtained? You're darn tootin' there, Will. All these spacecraft, even though they were never designed to observe a comet during a comet flyby, have been coordinated, and so they'll be doing observations of the comet. Observations should tell us some interesting things, particularly about gas coming off the comet, about the interaction of that dust and gas with the Mars atmosphere, and we'll get some imaging, although don't expect up close and personal imaging, but we should get images of a few pixels across, maybe even images of with Mars. In any case, lots of great science. Will this science information be exciting? Yeah, because it turns out we have never done a spacecraft flyby of a long period comet, a comet like this that's coming from way out in the Oort cloud, so far out that it's its first pass by the sun. All the other spacecraft observations of comets have been periodic comets, comets that orbit in a few years or a few tens of years around the sun. That allows us to send spacecraft, but it causes the sun to over and over again for millions and billions of years. So that's what those comets. This one will be pristine, and we'll see. Will the comet be visible from Earth? This is very easily visible from Earth, but the comet, only if you've got a telescope, probably a pretty big telescope to observe it, and it's better observing from the definitely not object, and probably even with binoculars. Well, you can go to planetary.org. You can also click here for a link to my blog, which will tell you more about this, as well as tell you more places to learn more about this fabulous planetary encounter. Thank you, and good night.
So we are back after this very nice introductory video provided to us by our colleague Bruce Bett, and here you can start seeing something, my friends. Even if this is a very faint object, I see that we have this fuzzy object approaching the planet. We are truly fighting against very critical weather conditions, and you can see here, let me see if I can enlarge this a bit just for your convenience, okay? And the comet is a very pale dot. You can see the bright planet Mars. You can see also some stars in the background, and the comet is the object I just try to put right now in the very center of the field of view. It is an incredibly faint object. So at the very center of the image you see a very small object, and that is the comet, and on the right you see the very bright Mars. And from time to time, as you can see, the image is adjusted because the background is changing constantly, but here we are with now a better image clearly showing, as I said, evidence for this comet. So at least we are tracking live this very rare and historic event. The comet is visible as a very fuzzy object very close to the center of the field of view. Let me see if adjusting focus I can change, improve something, but we are looking very low to the horizon. I'm very proud that this extremely difficult observation is actually showing you the comet, friends. Trust me when I say that what we are doing from Italy is truly an extreme observation. It is much easier to observe this from the southern hemisphere, and you will see a lot of fantastic images from that part of the world, but from the northern hemisphere, especially if you are at more than 40 degrees of northern latitude, that in Italy, this is truly a challenge. Despite this, virtual telescope is truly showing you this in real time, and we are very happy that after all the comet is just showing as a very fuzzy object. You can see where I have in the center, where I also have the pointer of the mouse, and that is the comet, and on the left you have this truly bright planet, and that is, of course, planet Mars, my friends. And let me see if the next image will be showing this better. You can see how bright the planet is, and this is truly an extreme vision, the most extreme observation I ever succeeded doing. And I wanted to share this via the virtual telescope, even if under other conditions. If this was not the historic comet we've been talking about for such a long time, trust me, I really wasn't here to show this to you, because, as I said, no astronomers would observe this extreme target being so low above the horizon. The comet is, let me see again if I can just make at least the object sitting in the center. In the very center of the field of view, there is a very small fuzzy object, and that is Comet Siding Spring approaching planet Mars. This is one of the most extreme observations I ever tried in my career. In a couple of hours, this comet will be at less than 140 kilometers from the center of Mars, and there is no risk at all that the comet will hit planet Mars, as we have listened to by the video by Bruce, Planetary Society. And I must also say that at the beginning, astronomers actually investigated the possibility for a meteor shower on Mars, because, of course, as you can easily imagine, this event is going to send a lot of dust around Mars. That is the dust released by the comet. But we know that after all, we will not have any spectacular shower on Mars. Well, this is just a calculation, because nobody was going there to observe this. But as you know, science is also prediction. And let me also say that a lot of rumors around that, as I say, this comet was going to hit Mars, but astronomers never told that, because we knew the trajectory, the orbit, and we were sure that no collision was going to happen. It is really, as you can see, every image is just so difficult because, as I say, the background is continuously changing. And let's see if the next update will provide us with some better background. So proud that we are observing, even if under serious, severe condition, this amazing event. The comet, as I said, is the pale object you see in the very center. If you compare the position of the comet with the star on the left, for example, you will see that it is moving. But look at it, because it is larger than the stars, because it has its cloud of dust all around, what we call a coma. I'm very happy that despite, as I said, the extreme, very critical conditions, we are observing this amazing event, my friends. I also want to see if the other telescope is eventually showing. No, I'm not sure, because we have two telescopes. We are using one of them to show you to you. This is the system. And right now we are using the telescope on the left. But I wanted to see if the telescope on the right is also see something. Well, the comet is so low below the horizon that after all, the two telescopes are not seeing the very same. That is, there is a natural obstacle in front of the telescope on the right. This is why I'm not using it, while the other telescope is clearly observing. So this is why, of course, I just preferred it, but I just asked the system to check. Anyway, here we are. The comet is looking better and better. You can easily see how it is really moving on the left. The next image, let me see if I can just increase also the exposure time here. At least we will have more time to check this. Trying to adjust this very extreme image with the fuzzy comet on the center. You recognize that the comet is a bit diffused than the stars around, while the bright object on the very right, it is planet Mars. You can also see a strange ringed reflection due to the light coming from the planet, of course, but it is just normal. I was really hoping that the sky was cooperating, and while, as I said, we have clouds, at least we can see this historic event. Right now, as you can see on the bottom of the screen, the telescope is pointing at 16 degrees of altitude. Trust me when I say that astronomers never look so low, because the lower you look, you observe, the more the atmosphere will affect the observation. So this is why we never look so low below the horizon. But when something historic is happening, you are blessed if you can see it, no matter how low or high the object is when the rare event is happening. This is why, even if under non-astronomical conditions, we still have to share this live with our friends worldwide. Let me see if I improved something or not. Still a very fuzzy comet. You can see it is moving in the Mars direction because it is still approaching. The minimum distance will be reached in more than 1 hour by now. So this is why basically we are just seeing it approaching, as I said. Let me see if adjusting focus I increased something. Let me also see if of course the other telescope is showing something or not, and on the other side of the telescope. At least I don't see the comet because there is an obstacle in that direction, as I said. So we are doing great, just observing with this unit. Of course, I tested it earlier to be sure that the comet was there. And also look the strange vertical line. You see that is a normally too much light that that object is flooding of light the digital sensor, and that light is just blooming, as we call it. Is just giving this artifact, but of course it is just an artifact, as I say. Here you see planet Mars again, but let's adjust contrast and brightness to see. But it looks like that of course the weather now is an issue, because I really don't see stars now. If I the all sky camera, I see that there are clouds there. Let me see if I can make clear this vision of the weather to you as well. Just want to add another image, if you don't mind. No matter the technology, when the sky is cloudy, you have to leave it that way. Here it is, and the comet, looking at this map, you can see a lot of clouds above our observing site. The comet is on the upper right corner of this image when where you see, as I said, truly a lot of clouds. So I believe that we are going to lose this object, of course. Anyway, let's wait for the next update. We are also approaching the end of the visibility window. So maybe that here we can still see the comet. It is moving, as you can see. If you just have if you're just tracking the object, you see that the fuzzy object in the very center is slowly moving to Mars. It is approaching after all. Let me share with you again. Here it is. This is a truly extreme image. Now we have the comet at 15 degrees, at only 15 degrees above the horizon, still in the twilight, with a lot of clouds. I really can't imagine a more difficult, a worse situation than this, observing such a subtle object as this comet. Let me say that this comet faded a lot over the last couple of weeks after giving a big show in the southern hemisphere, and we will see some of those images later. I have images I received from some observers, and they said to be happy if we share those images. Really amazing. It's really hard for us to find a good match when you have so many clouds, friends. So I think that we are this object, and because it is setting, but now I just show you some great images I received from several observers showing these very well. They were taken earlier, some of them a few hours ago, and I really would like also to show you an animation made by NASA, just depicting in an artistic way what is going on. So here it is for you, and then I will show you a few images I received and I collected from astrophotographers worldwide covering this comet in the last few hours. But let's see this animation provided by NASA right now. And we are back now, and I would like to show you a few spectacular making justice to this comet while we saw it under critical conditions. I just want to show you also an image I captured last, that is yesterday, when the sky was clear, and here it is, a nice image, and you can see there the comet easily to recognize against the stars. Okay. Again, it was a very critical observation because, as I said, we were looking very low on the horizon, but at least the comet was there. If yesterday was today, I'm sure we were going to see the comet much better, but at least for the record, we saw it. And I will make an image from the ones we captured today, and I will share it on the web and also on the Facebook fan page of the Virtual Telescope. You will be happy. You will be welcome to see it. But now I want to share with you some spectacular images. And one was provided by the Italian astrophotographer Rolando Ligustri. He captured this a few days ago when Comet Seeding Spring, easily to recognize here, was just surfing the sky in a very rich part where the open star cluster Messier 6 was showing as well. This is a truly spectacular image, also making justice to the beauty of this comet and of the sky as well. Another image I'm happy to share was taken a few hours ago by an amateur astronomer, Martin Moberly, and here you can see the comet in the bottom left approaching Mars, and I'm sure you will be able to recognize who is Mars here. Well, lots of stars because the objects, Mars and the comet, are just surfing a very, very rich part of the sky, the Milky Way, with literally thousands of stars even in such a very small patch of the sky. This is a truly spectacular image. And another one, kindly made available by James Willingham, is here, where you can see also another splendid vision. All those images, let me say, were taken from the southern hemisphere, where the comet is a much better place. I would say that from the northern hemisphere the comet is basically not visible, while from the southern hemisphere, being much higher above the horizon, when the sun is gone away, you can really imagine how wonderful the vision can be with a telescope. Here it is, wonderful sights, as I said, friends, and the tail is visible, and also you can see some darker areas in the background where the galactic dust is making stars there not well visible. This is why you have the impression that there are places in the image like this where stars are less present. It is just dust making possible to see the stars there, okay? And another great image, kindly made available by Michael Mattiazzo, is still showing Mars with its very famous and I would say epic color, with the faint comet approaching. And the comet is on the left, clearly indicated there. And I hope that you are really enjoying these fine images, kindly provided by a number of great photographers, you know. Now I want to share with you another great image. Just picking it. Here it is showing the comet a few days ago, and kindly made available by Damien Peach. I really like images like this when you can see the color of the comet, that I would say green, a little blue color against the red stars. A lot of stars are red there because of the dust absorbing a lot of their light and just leaving as a surviving and dominant color the red, because red is able to go through the dust much easier than any other color. This is why stars in such dense dust clouds are looking red. And also you see the pattern of the dark nebula there, and also the richness of the galaxy, of course. And the final image was made by the Italian astrophotographer Rolando Ligustri. He kindly made available to us, again observing from Australia, and this one is truly great, showing, as I said, the planet Mars on the right. I'm sure you understand who is Mars here, and the comet just in the bottom left. And this one is a truly historic image, and I'm only guess what our friends are doing in the southern hemisphere right now. I can just friendly that I envy them, because right now I'm sure they are having some stunning sights and some truly unforgettable visions of this historic event, friends. Well, that said, I think that we can stop here. Unfortunately, we have no more live images because the comet is gone. Also, it is setting, but it is also gone because, as I said, we were working in clouds, friends. So we did the best, and I must say that gone actually. At least I hope that you liked it. We actually were not sure to see it despite the very critical conditions, but actually we were lucky enough and we were brave enough. We were awarded by the vision of Mars and the pale comet approaching the planet. So that is all, and I hope that you enjoy this live coverage. Clouds with the pale, faint spring on its way to planet Mars. Nothing will happen. The comet is not going this planet, but likely from Mars this will be a truly vision. But unfortunately, no ones are on Mars right now. Send a postcard with the comet from there. We can just use our imagination. We did our best just to bring to you this thrilling live. No matter the clouds, no matter the extremely difficult, let me say, as we observed this comet from the northern hemisphere under so hard and difficult conditions. Really, we were not going to share because really it was basically impossible. But with some luck and with our passion for the stars, made the impossible real. So thank you very much. Once again, I want to remind you that this event was hosted in cooperation with ELSA. I also want to thank the many journals, magazines and websites who hosted them. And I want to mention in particular Sky and Telescope, the Planetary Society, Universe Today, National Geographic. I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting some of them. Also space.com. All the friends there made possible to have the notice of this event available to the world, and this was a planetary success. I believe that more than 100,000 people joined. We did our, and please, if you because we would like to make the system even more powerful. For this, on our website, you can learn about a fundraising campaign launched 1 month ago, and if you support this new donate something to us. Real-time universe for 8 years now, and we reached more than 6 million curious viewers asking for nothing. We work for free, we have no funds, we have nothing of that, and survive just because of random donations made by those trusting our mission. If you really want to support this unique project, a leading without money, also thanks to the love stars and the love we put in sharing this with you, please donate to us. We will make our best, as we did these 8 years, to give value to your donation, bringing the universe to everyone, everywhere, no matter the geographical limit. I also, my friends of Astronomers Without Borders, my friend Mike Simmons with their software BISC, Badr Planetary, Barbara Plane Wave Instruments. Thank you for making this event historic for us as well, not only because of the rare cosmic opportunity to see a comet close to Mars, but also because a lot of people decided to spy out there. We saw Comet C in spring, just approaching and arriving close to planet Mars. That's all. Hope that you will support the virtual telescope. And let me say that in a few more days, October 25, we will be showing a very special and thrilling asteroid approaching us 5 distance of the moon. It will be a truly spectacular sight. Save the date and be with us. We'll never fail, and we are never tired to show you the wonders of the universe. Gianluca Massi, Virtual Telescope. Goodbye. Soon.